A more obvious case of corruption in the government of Joseph Momo involved the Sierra Leone Fire Department. As Minister of Defense, former President Momo was responsible directly for the fire services. However, under him, Sierra Leone's only fire station became a graveyard for morale and for broken-down firefighting vehicles.
The APC government, they don't consult. They just do what they like. And as a civil servant, you cannot say anything, or else you'll be kicked out.
When they ordered these engines, did they consult you?
Well, I was not consulted. It was a cabinet decision.
The vehicles often broke down while answering emergencies.
They were very low. You see, the spring, we have a lot of springs that are, there were so many breaking springs, and then the bushings, also the brakes and all those things.
This one broke down on its first day in service. This one gave way while trying to climb a hill on its 8th day and tumbled over. One fireman was killed. Why were they in such bad shape? Well, this vehicle carries the telephone number of a fire station in Holland. Could it be then that for the first time in the fire department's history, Joseph Momo and his Lebanese agent were buying second-hand fire vehicles, endangering the lives of his people? Can you attend a fire at a multi-story building in Freetown today?
No, we cannot.
Why?
We haven't got a snorkel or a turntable ladder.
That's a platform, like a ladder.
Yes, that is it.
But the biggest scandal in the fire department in Sierra Leone happened in 1989. The APC, Sierra Leone's only party then, led by President Momo, was holding its big national convention 100 miles away in the town of Binkolo. The Secretary General of the party wrote a letter to Mr. Kamara, the chief fire officer, requesting 2 firefighting vehicles for the trip. Mr. Kamara, the fire officer, wrote back to say no, because as they were the only 2 working, he needed them in the capital in case of disaster. But he got a second letter from the Secretary General of the APC advising that if he wanted to keep his job, he should meet the request. He did. 1 hour after the vehicles left for Binkolo, the biggest supermarket in Freetown was engulfed by fire. For over 3 days, it burned. The fire department could do nothing. This document, widely reported in the local press in Sierra Leone, is one of many that have recently come to light after the coup, showing the extent of corruption in ex-President Momo's government. The agreement almost certainly helped this German company, Hamburg Port Consulting, HPC, to outbid its rivals and secure a big government contract for a project at the port. In return, the company agreed to pay the minister concerned, Michael Abdullahi, $100,000. In addition, the minister would receive 50% of engineering fees. The contract ends by committing the signatories to keep it a secret. The contents should not be divulged to anyone else. And they all signed it. A lot of people I've met are delighted with the coming of a new government. They're hopeful that things will change. There have been demonstrations in the streets. You've seen them, you've attended some of them. A lot of people seem very pleased. But a lot of them are worried because they have the fear that we've had an APC government on 2 occasions which started well and that went astray. They worry and fear about that sort of thing happening to you and your government. What can you say to assure them?
Well, I will want to assure them that they must not encourage such fears. We have done this in the interest of everybody, and we will not allow ourselves to be removed from the cause. We will stick onto the cause, and we will ensure that we are committed to fulfilling the desires and aspirations of our people. are going to do all we can to maintain the objectives of this revolution. We will steer, or we will endeavor to steer this country out from the economic mess that we've had to inherit. We will do our best.
Now, the last government, sir, was accused, especially the president of the last government, was accused of not doing anything to people who were proved to be corrupt and fraudulently converted public funds. Instead, they were seen having a nice lifestyle after they had knowingly squandered money belonging to the state, and nothing was done to them. I mean, if that happened in your administration, what would you do? If you found any of your colleagues getting into that kind of thing, what would you do to them?
Well, I think that's not a question for me. It's a question for the courts. It's not for the courts to decide.
So if any of your colleagues at the government, for example, went astray like this or got themselves into temptation to do these things, you would pursue them in the courts?
Precisely. Precisely. I will not allow my government to be swayed into the trappings of power. I will make it my responsibility to ensure that if any of my ministers or any of my officials should want to do things contrary to the aims and objectives of this cause, then my government will leave no stone unturned in pursuing these issues.
When people see words like this turning into reality, they cannot help but be happy. One of the tasks facing the new military government in Sierra Leone is to reinstate the culture of honesty, hard work and justice. Over the years, workers have taken the cue from the APC government and started chasing money by whatever means they could. Pay was bad, so those who could make extra money by means of their position did. Those who couldn't found a second job or went into business. The rest just laid back and did nothing, because nothing worked for them. Lieutenant Tom Newmer, the resident minister here in Kenema, has called all these workers to his office to breathe some life into the system. The roll call here will eliminate ghost workers, names which don't exist but are on the payroll.
Those people, they are members of one of our ministries, the Ministry of Works. They have about 663 workers, but they are virtually dormant. They haven't been doing anything. And the government have been wasting money necessarily on them. Basically, their job is as Works Ministry to clean the city, make the road, but they are virtually not doing anything, and the roads are all bad. So I called them this afternoon to talk to them. I said, look, this is the time to work. Let them join us at least in the nation building.
Like many countries in the world, Sierra Leone is not hell for everyone. If you are wealthy, there is sun, there is sand, there are mangoes and avocados within reach of your arm. There are private schools, private hospitals, and hotels and restaurants that make you wish life was immortal. Thousands of French tourists flood into Sierra Leone every year, and they come back. The people are warm, hospitable, and trusting. Perhaps too trusting. But then that is not a sin. The ones who sinned are the ones who let them down. Now their message to the world is that the Athens of Africa is coming back to life, with equality of opportunity and justice, all inspired by the new military government, the NPRC. Those who became wealthy while working in the government of the APC are now having to account for their riches. Those abroad who want to help Sierra Leone can now rest assured that their gifts and donations will not be hijacked as they were in the past. Success by the back door in Sierra Leone, at least for the time being, is over. So now on the hills and in the valleys, even among the hungry and the suffering, the word is joy, mingled with a hope that the soldiers of Sierra Leone will give their people something to dance about many years from now.
Yes, what's your name? What is your name? What is your name?